You know that feeling, right? You've got a quick project, maybe hanging shelves or something,
Oh, yeah.
and bam, you need that specific tool.
Mm-hmm. The one you don't own.
Exactly. And buying it feels like overkill. But renting is often, well, a pain.
It really can be.
So today we're doing a deep dive into something aiming to fix that. Smart locker tool rental hubs.
Interesting concept.
Yeah, we've dug through a bunch of sources, articles, online discussions, trying to pull out the key stuff on this potentially really smart business idea.
Yeah.
See if it holds up. So, like, imagine this, right? Automated lockers, totally contactless, open 24/7.
Okay.
And they're not miles away. They're maybe in your neighborhood or right outside the local hardware store.
Convenient placement.
Yeah, stocked with drills, saws, ladders, you know, the common stuff, maybe even pressure washers.
Things people need occasionally.
Exactly. And using it is simple. Book on an app, scan a code at the locker, grab the tool, use it, bring it back.
Sounds smooth.
And the big thing, almost zero staff needed on site. It's mostly automated.
And what's really interesting is why this feels so relevant right now.
Okay, yeah, the timing.
It hits that sweet spot between the sharing economy trend.
Right, like Airbnb or car sharing.
Exactly. And also increasing automation. People often just need a tool for a bit, you know? Owning everything isn't practical.
Clutters up the garage, too.
Definitely. And this appeals to, well, pretty much everyone the weekend DIYer, sure, but also professional contractors.
Oh, interesting. For pros, too.
Yeah, imagine needing an extra specific drill or saw for a job like right now without the whole rigmarole of a traditional rental place.
That makes sense. So our mission here is to really unpack this. We've looked at business articles, some research papers, even chatter on places like Reddit, where apparently some early entrepreneurs are pretty excited.
Right. See what the buzz is about?
So let's get into it. What is it about the market now that makes this concept seem so workable?
Well, connecting the dots, it really comes down to a few key things. Economic drivers, practical stuff. First, it's that basic idea. Occasional use versus ownership. People are just less keen on buying expensive tools they'll use maybe once a year.
Totally. I've got a few of those gathering dust.
Haven't we all? Then, like you said, the convenience. It works for pros needing gear fast on site and for amateurs who don't want to trek across town during shop hours.
Which are often limited, yeah.
But the real kicker strategically is the automation.
Right, the smart lockers.
Yeah. They slash operating costs because you barely need staff. Payments, inventory tracking, it's all handled by the system.
So super low overhead.
Incredibly low. And that low overhead feeds directly into, potentially high margins you charge per use hourly, daily, whatever.
Recurring revenue.
Exactly. Creates a steady income stream from each locker, each tool. And this structure, this automation, it makes it really scalable.
Scalable how? Like easy to add more lockers.
Precisely. It's a replicable model. Those entrepreneurs on Reddit, they talk about how, surprisingly, the red tape, the permits for these small hubs can be less complex than for a full retail setup.
Ah, okay. So potentially faster to roll out.
Which helps explain the excitement.
So yeah, it's clear it's not like everywhere yet, not mainstream.
No, not yet.
But the vibe seems positive. Our sources, Business Insider, Inc., Archive, Tech Radar, places like entrepreneurial.com, they all point to this buzz among early movers. They talk about reducing friction, making tools more accessible, and this idea of passive profitability.
Which is always appealing.
Definitely.
Yeah.
It feels like a smart step forward.
Yeah.
But if it's got this buzz, why isn't it mainstream yet? Is it just awareness, or are there hurdles?
I think it's largely awareness and, frankly, the initial capital needed. It's still a bit novel.
Right.
But that naturally leads to the question, okay, how would you actually start one of these?
Yeah, the practical side.
It might seem daunting, but the sources suggest it's actually pretty manageable if you're smart about it.
Okay, so what's step one? The sources seem to say, test the market carefully.
Makes sense. Start small.
Right? Maybe pilot just one locker somewhere. There's demand maybe near a lot of handymen or small contractors.
Good starting point. Figure out who your first users are.
Yeah. Is it the DIY crowd looking for value or pros needing speed? Because that affects your tool choice, your pricing.
Absolutely.
And for tools, start with the basics. Durable, popular stuff. Drills, power washers maybe, crowbars. Things that are relatively compact.
High demand items first.
And the lockers themselves, apparently installing them isn't always super complex. Some don't even need constant Wi-Fi.
That's a really interesting point. Many use like offline processing with strong encryption.
How does that work?
They often have local controllers, little computers inside, that handle the unlock codes, track when tools are taken or returned. They only need to sync up with the main system, the cloud, periodically.
Ah, so they can work even in spots with patchy internet.
Exactly. It uses what's called edge computing, makes them much more flexible for placement, and keeps them running if the network drops. It's
Okay.
key to that low maintenance aspect.
Okay, clever. So lockers in place, tools are stocked. Then you need the user interface, right? An app or a website.
Yep, something simple for people to book, get their QR code to unlock.
And pay, obviously. Mobile payments.
Standard stuff now.
Yeah.
And then you just need clear policies.
Like rental rates by the hour, by the day.
Both, probably. Plus deposits. Maybe offer damage insurance as an add-on.
Makes sense. But finding good spots, that seems crucial. Any tips there from the sources?
Yeah, this is where partnerships come in. Really interesting potential here.
Partnering with who?
Instead of looking for standalone spots, think about existing businesses. Local hardware stores seem obvious.
Synergy there.
Or community centers, gyms, even big apartment buildings. They might host a locker bank.
Why would they do that?
Well, you could offer them a cut of the revenue or maybe offer discounts to their members or residents. It becomes an extra amenity for them.
A win-win. They get a cool feature, you get a prime location with foot traffic.
Exactly. That's where some of the smart thinking comes in from those early adopters, finding those symbiotic relationships.
Okay, so pulling back a bit. What's the big picture here for someone thinking about this, or even just curious about where things are heading? What's the core appeal?
I mean, the advantages really stack up on paper. First, as we said, super low overhead, minimal staffing. That's huge.
Right.
Then, potentially a really high return on the initial investment. Each tool could be rented out many, many times a month.
Turning capital over quickly.
And the scalability we talked about, replicating hubs across neighborhoods, cities, maybe striking deals with property management companies.
Yeah, you can see it growing quite fast.
And there's a nice sustainable angle too, isn't there?
How so?
Positioning it as part of the sharing economy, it reduces the need for everyone to own every single tool. That's good PR, appeals to eco-conscious folks.
True. Less consumption overall.
And fundamentally just solves that pain point, you know?
Right.
Needing a tool now, but the shop's closed or it's a hassle. This aims to just remove that friction.
Okay, it does sound compelling. Almost. A bit too easy. Are there hidden costs? Like even with automation, someone must have to fix the tools right or handle problems.
That's a fair point. It's not zero effort.
And what are the main roadblocks people actually run into? And how do they get around them?
Right. Let's talk obstacles. Maintenance is definitely the big one operationally, even if staffing is low.
Okay.
And the obvious worries are tool theft or damage.
Yeah, how do you stop people just not returning things or breaking them?
Mitigation strategies are key. Things like requiring a decent security deposit,
Skin in the game.
offering optional damage insurance so honest accidents are covered, and increasingly embedding tracking tech like GPS or RFID into the tools themselves.
Okay, makes sense. What else?
The initial cost. Tools aren't cheap and smart lockers are an investment.
Capital intensive up front.
Yeah. So solutions there are things like starting really small, just one locker, proving the model works in your spot, or maybe crowdfunding equipment leasing to spread the cost out.
Manageable steps.
And finally, back to your point about hidden employee-like costs, it's the maintenance logistics. You absolutely need a system.
For what? Cleaning. Repairs.
Both. Scheduled checks, cleaning between rentals, pulling tools for repair or sharpening. You need a plan.
So how do you handle that without hiring a full-time person per locker bank?
Partnering again, maybe with local handy people or a mobile repair service. Someone who can swing by regularly, check the tools, swap out anything needing work, outsource that bit.
Okay, so wrapping this up, this deep dive seems to show these smart locker tool hubs are a really neat convergence of automation, the sharing economy, and just solving a real everyday problem. It feels like a solid blueprint for local entrepreneurs, potentially quite efficient, potential for recurring cash flow.
Absolutely. It's got that blend of, convenience for the user and potential cash flow for the operator. It could work for different people too, a tech startup, maybe an existing hardware store looking to add a service.
Or, like you said, a property manager wanting an amenity.
Exactly. Lots of angles.
So here's a final thought to leave you with. Imagine a future where your local hardware spot isn't just shelves of stuff to buy, but also connects you to this network of shared tools. Always there, Easy access, less clutter in everyone's homes, more projects getting done. Makes you wonder, doesn't it, what other shared resource in your own community is just waiting to be unlocked like this?